we said, we're taking a look at JUMHURI Day from the diaspora, and we're taking a look at Diaspora Voices. We spoke to Moses Isaacs from India a short while ago. Let's now speak to Engineer Chris Njenga, who thankfully is not in the diaspora, but is here with me, representing the Diaspora Voices from the Kenya Diaspora Alliance. Engineer Njenga, it's good to see you.
Thank you. Nice to see you too.
All right. So JUMHURI Day, 53 years. I mean, we've heard from Moses, and I think the big discussion right now is about inclusion of all voices, of all Kenyans, you know, irrespective of where they are. We know under the new constitution, there's now dual citizenship that's allowed. But just tell us your sentiments representing the diaspora on this 53rd JUMHURI Day.
Okay. Congratulations to all Kenyans. Wanjiko plus plus. It's 53 years. And unfortunately, the diaspora cannot vote. And by the way, our diaspora number one in none other than President Obama. So what we are saying, there are many, many things the diaspora out there has done, the position they are, and it is time. It's really, really timely that we are able to get them fully involved and included into the development of Kenya. Actually, we are already involved.
And that's my question, because we hear of all of these big numbers of the contributions from persons in diaspora. So if you could just sort of note or list some of these big contributions, because you are already involved with the remittances that we see to the economy, but still feeling left out in terms of deciding who, you know, who our next leaders will be. But just tell us about the contribution from the diaspora.
Well, let's start with the remittances, because that's a one that people, you know, pesa, mingapi. And here we're talking about $2 billion, maybe more. That's 200 billion Kenya shillings. That's significant. Every year.
Right.
And so that's significant in terms of our national budget and so on. And so we are not able to contribute more. We were just saying, in somewhere like Philippines, they have 4 million in the diaspora, 10 million, sorry, and they actually bring in $40 billion to the economy. In other words, if we in Kenya were to be positive, take measures, programs that are positive to encourage the diaspora to actually be able to get involved in the national economy. Give them advantages, whatever the advantages could be. Minimum, if we look at that and say, if they can do 40 billion, we can do 10 to 12 billion.
How many numbers are we talking about, Kenyans in the diaspora?
We're talking about 3 million.
3 million.
Again, this is something that I'm really disappointed with the IEBC. They keep saying, oh yeah, we just here, we don't know. Look, the Kenya government in their diaspora policy have looked at the numbers. They've gone to the UN, UNDP, IOM, and all these people who have these figures. And it comes out, it is not less than. In fact, it should be more, because 3 million is many years ago. And so we
don't have some of the most latest statistics on the numbers. So let me talk to you, because you've brought in the IEBC and the right to vote, which I think is so important on JUMHURI Day, because this is exactly what we fought for. The right for self-determination and to be able to decide our destiny as Kenyans, which is something the diaspora, you know, Kenyans in the diaspora are feeling a little bit sort of robbed of, if you like. What's been your conversations with the IEBC, with various leaders? What are they saying? Where do you believe the sticky point is with this very important right?
Well, it's mixed. And by the way, to start off, I don't know whether we should be like the Mau Mau in the diaspora and say, hey, you know, in all the embassies in all the world, we are going to have mass action and demonstrate. Of course, when you think of JUMHURI Day, that's how we got our independence. That's how we got our vote. Should the diaspora do this? It's a question mark.
Is the diaspora prepared to do that?
Of course they are. It's just that at the moment we are discussing, we are negotiating and talking to IEBC and saying, this is our point. So, you know, as we get to this, we have talked to IEBC. Sometimes we are not sure whether they are fully engaged, they understand the views. I mean, if they say we don't have credible figures, I'm saying, yeah, if you're talking about the IEBC portal, the government portal,
Right.
you may not have it, that's fine. But that's not the end of the world.
Right.
We have the national bureaus of statistics of America, of Canada, of Holland, of Belgium, of South Africa, of Australia. We have those figures. And they say that there are so many in each of the countries.
Right.
And they are in a particular location. So if the IEBC was really willing, then it's a matter of coming together, accepting the figures. In fact, I'm going to present those figures during the Diaspora Convention, which is on 14, 15, and 16 at Kuea.
Yeah.
We are having a conference. There's a lot of diasporans who've come.
All right.
And what we're looking at is being able to present this, to say, this is what we have. Why can we not vote?
Okay.
Yeah?
Let me ask you this as we close. The IEBC has announced its mass voter registration. I believe that will be the final one, even though we know the process of voter registration is continuous, but around January, February. Are you hopeful that with all of this lobbying, and especially with the diaspora meeting that you're talking about happening this week, that you will be able to participate in the registration exercise that's coming up? It's just about a month away.
Okay, they have said we will register in February.
Yeah.
So we're very happy about that.
Good.
The question is where? Because they haven't said which are going to be the registration centers. We are saying that we have enough numbers. When we map, we as a diaspora map, we have several places they should be able to do it. But as I say again, they're looking at the last one in 2013, we only did in East Africa. And by the way, even that was absolutely ridiculous in my mind, where they're saying, oh, we will only accept to register Kenyans who have their passports. Who has passports in East Africa? The protocol of the East African community says you don't need a passport.
Yes.
So how can, when I'm in Uganda, and I was in Uganda, and they're telling you, oh, to register you need it. I don't have it. 100,000 Kenyans may not have it.
Right.
Are you going to stop and say, no, sorry, you can't vote?
Yeah, okay. So here's the last one then. I know I said that the other one was the last one. We have a Twitter poll running on Worldview this afternoon. Are you satisfied with Kenya's progress since independence? And particularly those in the diaspora as well. Many people say the reason you all ship off to other countries is because, you know, looking for greener pastures rather than staying home and building your own country. But particularly because you have, you know, a different perspective. You've been out there, been here. You can tell, you know, the difference in, you know, that comparison, Kenya, Singapore, and that sort of thing. But what are the thoughts of the diaspora when it comes to 53 years after independence?
I think after 53 years, we could have done more.
Okay.
We can do more. Getting back with the diaspora, what do we have? We have expertise. We have experts in all different levels.
What are the concerns of the persons in the diaspora?
Because
when they look at Kenyan news and you watch KT News online, what are those things that concern persons in the diaspora?
There are issues, for example, the corruption, the ukabila, and so on. Those things, security, all those. In fact, we wrote a paper on security and still waiting to get some response. Anyway, what I'm saying is we are engaged already. We send to our mothers in the village, our relatives, so much. $1, $10, $100 monthly. So we are contributing to what is happening. We see that there are issues. So if you're to take a scorecard, and I think we ought to take a scorecard because that's what your question is, we are saying, what did we start with in 63, 64? There are things we are looking for, education, knowledge, health.
Disease, ignorance, and poverty.
Yes. So let's look at those three and ask ourselves. The doctors are on strike. Wanjiko is dying. So what we're talking about, and then the economy, where we were and where we should be. So what we're saying is there's a lot of chance. But what's the problem? Among the problems is not engaging us in the diaspora.
And you are engaged already.
We have the expertise. We have the money. They want more. We can bring more. So those are the things we say. Oh, by the way, but we must vote.
But you
next
must
year.
vote.
Yes.
Good. All right. Good. I think that's a good place to leave it. Engineer Chris Njenga from the Kenya Diaspora Alliance, thank you very much for making the time to be with us today. And we wish you all the best.
Thank you very much.
And we'll definitely be following up with your conference that's happening later this week.
Thank you very much.
Asante sana, Engineer. Let's